double or nothing contest continues with Vatira, who is able to stop Toxic's run and now has tempo. You might be wondering if you watched the previous Vatira video that we had Joria's. Joria's could not play. So instead, we rolled 2 new people, and whichever one of them responded first, we had come on. Now, Tempo responded before Nas, which means Vatira is playing Tempo because we had to get it last second. Vatira's second run continues with game number 2. He doubled up from 62 to 125, starting now. Chat, here we go. It's Vatira versus Tempo in a best of 5 1v1. Mentioned it slightly at the intro. This is Vatira's second run through the double or nothing, and this is Tempo's chance, his second chance at getting a run going. He played against Atto in the first round, wasn't able to get a win, looked strong enough. I think he took a game off Atto, but ultimately could not finish it off. Vatira has been looking unbeatable. Vatira had a 3 straight run previously, and now is trying to get another one going. I guess it's technically 4-0, but because he cashed out on his previous run, he does not have an insane amount of money to win. $125 on the line for this level 2. But Tempo will be the first to score. Vatira and I'm DCing, or are you guys DCing? I think I still see you guys. I have no drop frames. I don't think this is how Tempo and Vatira play 1v1. Last I checked, they're a little bit more coordinated than this. I don't know if... Oh, we're back! We are so back! And it was an F. It was an F. I left the party. It didn't say I dropped any frame. Oh, I'm disconnected. Be back soon. Refresh soon. Hello! You guys should be back now. I DC'd. Tempo is gonna make it 2-1. I don't know what happened. Had 5 minutes back. There's no scam. The timer continued. On my end, everything kept going. Well, actually, I DC'd from the game, too. I must have lost download and upload or something, but not normally what happens, because I didn't even get to watch the gameplay that led to the second goal. Tempo. Front flip flick makes it 3-1. And you know what's fun is that we're moving away from fiber internet. This is the fiber internet option. Just wait until we're not in fiber internet. Tempo almost scoring a kickoff goal, but gets demoed as he booms one wide. Now Vatira, he was doing this to Toxic a bunch. This backflip flick, but Tempo actually has to save. He has the counter for it. Went all the way up to the back wall. And what is that flick of his own? Tempo is still trying to make something out of this shot. And actually almost did. The post bounce was not bad. Vatira passing to himself. Another save from Tempo, who is on one right now. And is looking to counterattack. Oh my goodness! He's not on 1. He's on 14. 39. Tempo launching a flick to make it 110. That's the only one you ever get. Imagine I drop that in RLCS ones. Hopefully they hire me again. I think they wouldn't if I brought out 1439 references there. Tempo dribbling straight into, popping the ball, I should say, straight into Vatira. Tempo, what placements? That is not easy to get that shot. Side flip hits the posts. And it's a 5-1 lead for Tempo. That would go so hard. Game 7 OT for the World Championship. You guys think I should drop Shadow TTS? Game 7 OT. That shot's so good, it put me in cardiac arrest. My co-commentator's just like, not sure if I'm dying. Vatira. needs some goals with 2 minutes left to go. Reset fake. Oh my goodness, it works out. Tempo does not get a touch. And it's 5-2. Vatira able to pick up a possession here after Tempo's early kickoff shot. It's just ever so slightly wide. He wants a demo. He had a choice between demo and boost grab. He picked demo and didn't get it. And now he's going to get himself demoed because of it. In retrospect, maybe the right answer was boost grab. Because now he's down 4. Tempo slamming a wave dash. Oh my goodness, he is popping off. But as fancy as it was, it does end in a shot that is far out from the net. Very easy for Vatira to react to if he just waits out in net and camps like he did. Pogo touch from Tempo. Question is, that was a Pogo pass. Vatira lands in reverse. Half flips. A nice goal. One that is easy to mess up if you're not Vatira. But he decided the best way to land was in reverse and get the half flip to make it 6-3. Delayed kickoff from Vatira. Couldn't get the bump, and so Tempo's going to get another goal. Tempo faking once and twice. Oh my goodness, the placement from Tempo has just been absolutely on point, and Vatira's had enough. He wants to go next. This one was placed too well. He had a lot of the net covered, but man, that was put in the perfect spots. And unfortunately, I'm making Vatira stare at the ball in his nets with that pause. Game number 1. Going to Tempo in this best of 5. Game number 2. Vatira still in the Octane. I think I've been seeing him dabble back and forth. Oftentimes, the Fennec has priority with a lot of players recently. I feel like they'll Octane until they lose. And oh, what a save from Vatira. Tempo has time to drop the what a save as well. I mean, he dropped it pretty late though, right near the corner. I wonder if it threw him off at all. That was not the best setup on the side wall. When the save is so good, it's worth not keeping your possession going. Vatira bumping Tempo back. And now has a great bounce to start an air dribble. He's not the kind of person to decline that air dribble. Tempo ceiling reset, flip into the ball. Double, as fancy as this is, it just ends in a shot directly at Vatira where he can hang out and wait for the read. And this time it's not necessarily hanging out on the ground, but pre-jumping and intercepting the aerial. Kickoff goal for Vatira, 2-0. Good response here at the start of game number 2 from a Vatira who forfeits game 1 early. Tempo getting in the way of Vatira there while picking up possession. Now he's got a big air dribble. The flick is strong enough to make Vatira save it slow. It was a little bit stronger, and it would have forced Vatira into net likely as well. But Vatira did manage to stay out of the net. So he will push him back to the midfield. Another great musty. Tempo hitting these with ease. You know, we used to see him do it in the Dominus, and we would maybe incorrectly give the Dominus a little bit of credit because Tempo's showing you that it doesn't matter. He's got the mechanics no matter what car you throw him in. And he's on the board in game number 2. That was a bit of a mistaken touch from Vatira. Now he's going to have to defend. Fake jump from Tempo. I think he was just trying to make Vatira hear the jumps. And maybe panic like Tempo's going to go for the double. Tempo will slow down on another dribble. Vatira staying decently far away, but not so far away as to not be ready for an air dribble bump of sorts. That one was on target, and it will give Vatira credit for the shot. Tempo forced into a save. Will bounce off the ground, and where is Vatira going? It looked like Tempo might have planned this already to just flick straight towards the net. Oftentimes, the dribbles can be really I don't know. I can't justify it. It did just look like he completely left the play or had a missed flip or something. Kickoff goal will instantly erase it, so he's right back in the lead. And he's watching it as well. Maybe taking a sip of water. Vatira not headed to the kickoff. We saw Atto try this a few times. It worked, oh my goodness, when it mattered most in game 5. But I would say in general, it did not pay off for him. And it's not going to pay off for Vatira early in the series either, as Tempo gets himself a play off the wall, and a reset will make Vatira miss. And now we're equal. Who is going to rush this kickoff? They're both going to try and get there. Actually, interesting mind games between both of them for neither one of them flipping. They didn't want to be the one to get there last, I imagine. Or maybe Vatira was expecting, or even trying to bait Tempo into flipping because he was slightly ahead. And if he did, he could put him even more out of position. Vatira getting demoed here as he wanted to jump and save early, came back down to the ground. Tempo able to read that. Instead of taking the dribble straight towards the net, he just got the reset, returned to the ground, and used the wave dash in order to pop it forward and give it extra speed in order to punish Vatira for the pre-jump. Tempo bouncing himself off of the back wall. It's a decent 50. He'll have boost, but he'll have to defend against Vatira again as he starts an air dribble ceiling heights. Save from Tempo and got his own corner boost. Has to rush back out to the ball, though, and used a ton of it just to do that, and that touch is not the best. It only works if he gets a demo, which he didn't. So we're back to equal. Vatira balling from the skies. Gonna go try again. Didn't like the first setup, or maybe didn't like where Tempo was. Wanted a 50 here, and because he didn't get it, he should be getting scored on. Tempo playing out of defense will make it 5-4. Vatira wins the race to the midfield 100. This is that race that they both kind of didn't play into last time. This time Tempo finds himself on the wrong side of the field. No choice to maybe try and work his way back in with those flips, and Vatira boxed him out well. Kept him away from the play. 5-5 this kickoff in favor of Tempo. Flick is weak, and Vatira doesn't get ball as he chases through. But he does delete Tempo. He's going to camp out here and wait for the boost to respawn. And now we'll take it to the other side. Tempo able to close the distance a little bit during that time, but still decides to back off and allow Vatira to go to work. He goes for a reset shot at ground height, leading to an awkward landing. And now he's got to be careful to not get scored on. He did enough to break it up momentarily, but Tempo going to be staring at an open net after this bounces off the back wall. 6-5 with 38 seconds left to go. Tempo is almost scoring a straight shot as Vatira tried to delay his kickoff, and Tempo did not send it into him. He is so good at these wave dash pops on the ball. He is flipping into them to get the next reset. I mean, when you watch it back, it didn't even look like it did, but I swear it was. The audio. Maybe I'm just getting old. 7-5. Tempo. A zap dash up to the side wall. Resets out ahead of Vatira. Great read. He sees him up high, defending close, and he separates himself from both the ball and Vatira by sending it away and looking for the double in the top left. Tempo, irritable bump. Heads into the attacking corner, but all of this doesn't necessarily matter. There were moments during this game back and forth where it felt like either one could take it, but in the final minute, it's Tempo. And now Vatira, just like his teammate, will have to reverse sweep if he wants to keep his run alive in the Donathon. Vatira's had enough of the Octane. Into the Fennec for game number 3. We'll see if that can make the difference here. Vatira has a chance with 14 boosts, but actually a bit of a dangerous position because Tempo has the greater boost advantage and needs to be sure to not let a counterattack be possible. Great save from Vatira on the other end. Keeping that one out of the net, sending it straight to the ground. Demo, nice little wave dash on the corner to finish it off. He's going to be able to get back to this, but it's going to take him a bit of time. And Tempo is going to be able to respawn and close the distance as well. Bit of a mistaken touch in retrospect. Tempo loves this flick on the ground. Normally he's doing it whenever he has open space and the net is already there. He's just doing it for fun. It's kind of diagonal backflip to pinch the flick into the ground. But we've seen him score it with active defenders at least once. The thing is, for it to be a surprise to actually catch a defender off guard, he has to hit it sweet spot and just have it launch out like a real pinch, which he doesn't always do. Tempo, reset wave dash fake. Vatira did jump maybe for that fake, but he's not out of position. He's pulling his camera around to see what Tempo's up to, not just keeping ball cam on. And now has an air dribble, a double, but he doubles it out. Quick camera checks to see what Tempo's up to, see what he's going to have to deal with as he grabs boost and goes again. This one should get saved, but Vatira forces it down and gets his wheels on the ball to make sure he has the quick wave dash. And that will mean he's much quicker back to the play than Tempo. Vatira thought about the boost still. Interesting. These guys went back and forth between what 100 boost they were going to grab. Seemed they were both going to go into Tempo's back corner, then they were both going to go midfield. Ultimately, they don't grab any, and Tempo is able to use a nice dash to get himself a goal. Kickoff win for Tempo. Vatira up early, back down to the ground. Can't get there. Clearly, Vatira is trying to throw Tempo off, trying to mix it up defensively. He went to the ceiling earlier. This time he looked to fake ceiling and return to the ground. But Tempo's just a couple standard touches is enough to outpace that setup. Tempo reads the fake kickoff, but actually just gives Vatira the ball the second time around. Feigned like he was going to clear it into his own back right corner from Vatira POV, but instead touched it and kept it close. Was a good play, but I don't know if it's enough to get him out of this whole sequence. Vatira high in the air. Reset top shelf. Double is in. It's not top shelf. It's crossbar. It's above the backboard. Or above the net, I should say. Onto the backboard. That slow-mo ping sound. Vatira undercutting Tempo to prevent any funny business from him. And now he's quickly into an aerial the other way. Went high, got undercut on the back wall, did not grab the back corner boost, and gets red on the immediate challenge. With no boost to work with, he spins out to the midfield, but then wants to cut that distance right back, wants to be on ball as much as possible. Tempo saw that coming. Kickoff win for Vatira. Tempo having to pick up boost late. Can he get a good challenge? The answer is no. Tempo pinching this one out, and Vatira says, hey, you need a little bit extra help. This wasn't going to be good enough on its own. Vatira needed to recover somehow. I mean, he was going to be in a little bit of big trouble, but just wave dash shoots it at his own net. Tempo headed back to his own corner. Vatira wants a demo. He sees that coming and is able to dodge the few different attempts. And now maybe trying to get one of his own. Still has 20 boosts to work with. And with a couple pads, he's got more than enough to make a play now. 44 as he stares down Vatira. Fake jump to get him up in the air and leave the net open. And it works out exactly how he planned. Dangerous ball there for Vatira. He did not want to go all in and really slam it away. Fake kickoff. Again, read by Tempo, who now was hoping for a double to punish Vatira creeping up after the boost grab. Back into the corner. Vatira off the ceiling. Wave dash fake from Tempo. Vatira's waiting in the air, and Tempo will bring it to him. We've seen this so often where players pre-jump and their opponents just assume, no way he's going to keep staying up there. Sure, he's floating up there now, but certainly he's going to come back down to the ground. And they just bring the ball right up to them. And it's going to work out perfectly for Vatira. And now it's 5-5. Vatira into his own back corner. It's must-win games all the way out. So you could argue it's must score right now. Not the best setup. He let the ball fall underneath him. Did his best to try and 50 and make something out of it. But once you find yourself over the top of the ball in a 1v1 air dribble, you always start to get worried. Tempo, a little bump in the corner, a little undercut. Vatira trying to jump off of him. But I'm not sure it's going to matter. Vatira, on his second run in the Donathon, has not lost in either one of them. His last one ended only because he wanted to cash out. And he was looking absolutely unbeatable. But Tempo might have been the answer unless Vatira has some magic in the next 23 seconds. Tempo off the back wall. His resets is not... Oh, Tempo just gifted him a goal. Vatira just waited it out and got himself a goal. So, I mean, maybe from Tempo's POV, he thought if I just get a few more seconds, that'll be enough. I don't care. But definitely holding on to possession would have been better. Now a kickoff cheese could spell trouble for Tempo. It is a delay kickoff from Vatira. He should be getting bumped or at least forced off the ball by Tempo, who has now tapped it towards the net. Another touch will do it. And that one certainly got to be it. It's Vatira out of the match. It's a Tempo sweep against Vatira. Tempo's second opportunity. And you know what? He likes pogos. Can he get there in time, though? Tempo. Pogo for the win. GG's! Now it's time for Tempo to start a run and for him to decide if he wants 6250 or to go double or nothing. Oh gosh, dude, Red Mob has played so many times. But he's back.